Here with Desi Freeman at the front of the Wangaratta Courthouse.
He's was like an older brother for me growing up, so we were pretty close in my younger days.
For much of his childhood, Luke Philby looked up to his uncle Desi.
I remember him being great, awesome, kind of like a larger-than-life character.
But as he grew up, his impression changed.
He always had this mentally ill hidden anger about him, like these hidden anger meltdowns. I can't explain it, and he never liked healthcare professionals to ever get a proper diagnosis or help with it.
And where the points of disagreement are and how to resolve those.
It's been 36 days since Desi Freeman was accused of opening fire on a group of 10 police officers at a property in Pawnpukka, who were executing a warrant related to historical sexual offences. Senior Constable Vadim Devor Hotar and Detective Leading Senior Constable Neil Thompson died at the scene. A third officer was injured.
Such a big impact that my uncle did, destroying these families, friends, even his own family. He destroyed them. Cowardly, didn't even care.
His family never expected his uncle would become the most wanted fugitive in the country.
Well, it was really hard for my mum. It's her brother. Really upsetting. She was crying. She was shocked.
Desi Freeman, who holds anti-authority and sovereign citizen views,
Because they are filthy, corrupt, disgusting, lawless predators,
was living in a bus on the property with his wife Amalia. What dominated discussions at family occasions?
His court hearings, gun laws. He was extreme about it. He had to be extreme about it. It wasn't about having the guns, it was about the laws.
When the police came to him that day, they came in numbers, they had a warrant, there were charges that I believe they did communicate to him, and that would have been very confronting for him, thinking about the implications.
Forensic psychiatrist Andrew Aboud gave evidence at the inquest into the Williambilla police shootings in Queensland.
So I think a heightened state of fear would have essentially enveloped him, and that would have caused an acute anger. It's unlikely that he thought through his actions carefully.
Police say Desi Freeman ran off into the bushland next to the property. Investigators have received more than 1,400 pieces of information from the public. To date, there have been no confirmed sightings.
It would boost them no end if they could get some sort of contact or evidence that he was still alive.
In 2012, former New South Wales Police Assistant Commissioner Carleen York oversaw the final 4 months of the manhunt for one of the most wanted men in the country, double murderer Malcolm Naden. He was at large for more than 6 years.
Looking for him over that period of time, you go through highs and lows. You think you might have identified where he is. You get the police out. We did lots of searches. But then you find that, it was a false alarm for whatever reason, or he disappeared into the bush. So the police go through many feelings of, anticipation of catching him, distress at not finding him, worrying about the community whilst he's still out there.
At the start of the search, there were more than 450 police officers involved. This week, police announced that number is now just over 200. Up to this point, there have been no reported breakthroughs in the search for Desi Freeman. Carleen York says it's not a sign of police failure.
No, I don't find it embarrassing at all for the police. They're out there every day putting their lives at risk to find this person. And he's very well trained and knowledgeable about the area he's in. And, he's obviously one step ahead as they can be quite easily, but police won't give up.
In 2018, before the pandemic, Luke Philby chose to cut ties with his uncle, who by that time had changed his last name from Philby to Freeman.
He changed his name then to start a new life, I guess. I guess he felt that the family abandoned him. The family did him wrong.
With Desi, he just wouldn't compromise. and he just had his views and he was pretty locked in. So yeah, which is all very sad, but anyway.
Ray Compey has a photo on his wall of a nearby bushfire taken by his old bushwalking friend Desi Freeman.
Why have you kept that photo? Why is it on your wall?
Oh, well, it's part of my life. Yeah, because I've been through those fires, and that was at the time when I was a good close friend of Desi.
Ray says he acted as a mentor to Desi when he introduced him to remote areas in Victoria's high country around 20 years ago.
Just watching him, the way he walked in the bush, I sort of realised, this bloke is a bushman. We were great friends, and then because of his fanatical ways, I just thought, no, perhaps, this is not really a friend for me.
It was around this time that Desi Freeman went to the Philippines.
He wanted to find a partner, a female partner, and then he went on this great search to the Philippines because his mindset was that all Australian girls, they're very, very focused on money and, big houses and all that kind of stuff. And that's how he met Marley.
Desi Freeman's wife, Amalia, has been arrested and released as part of the ongoing investigation. Mount Buffalo National Park remains closed. Victoria Police says it's using every available resource to find Freeman, including a $1 million reward for information which leads to his capture.
There's been commentary that he might be harboured by other people. While that's possible, it's also probably unlikely. His fundamental mistrust of others would not only include the government and police, but would also include neighbours, perhaps even people who he had frequented with. So I strongly suspect that he cuts a very lonely figure.
Knowing Des as well, he wouldn't want the satisfaction of the government taking his life, Like, for the government to take his life, be the ones, he wouldn't want them to give them that satisfaction.
Late today, news broke of a specialist police operation on a property near the town of Benalla in northeast Victoria, about an hour west of Pawnpukka. Police issued a statement saying it was a planned operation and there is no immediate risk to the community.
I'm really sorry. I know it's not the one that me should be apologising, but it's a family member that's done this, and it's absolutely horrifying. I've had nothing but love and respect for the police my whole life. And seeing how upset they are, that how, they've lost somebody, and that loss is so, it's a loss, a part of you that you lose that you never get back.